Hey everyone, DFA here, welcome back to the channel, and we are taking a look at the Louisiana today, the Tier 10 American Hybrid Battleship. After taking a look at the Nebraska, discussing team dynamics, taking a look at the Delaware, discussing usage of your planes, this time we are taking a look at positioning, and this is super important with the Louisiana. Let me show you why with the stats sheet. And yes, so there we have it next to the other American battleships and a couple of other Tech 3 premium battleships at the tier. So it's pretty much the same as the Delaware. You get rapid reload, but you get an AA1. The survivability, it is still garbage. It's even worse than St. Vincent. So yeah, everything that you see is going to destroy you. And yeah, keep in mind that unlike the Delaware, you are meeting Vermonts, Yamatos, and Kremlins on a daily basis. So really that's why positioning is key with that thing, because you see the survivability, it's literally 2 minutes less than a grosser curver. So it's really awful. You do lose a bit of speed in comparison with the Delaware, but still nothing to be afraid of. It's really good. And yeah, the main improvements comes with the main guns. This time you're getting 10 of them, 10 406mm guns. The range, it's decent at 14 kilometers. Accuracy has been buffed with the latest patch, so it's a little bit better than it used to be before, about 3%, close to 57%. Still, your DPM, it's actually not that far from the Yamato and the GK. It's still inferior to the Montana and the Vermont and the Vincent, but it's actually pretty average now. And that's actually not bad, because yeah, you do get the same American secondary, is nothing to see here, but you also get the same dive bombers as the Delaware. They do have, the accuracy is a little bit improved, so that's actually quite nice. So you can deal, I would say you can deal fires more reliably, and the fighters, they're still tier 6 fighters, this time at tier 10, so don't expect too much from them, but still they're absolutely amazing for scouting. And then finally the AA, it's really good at the tier. It's the best AA at the tier, because you are getting an AA upgrade as well, so that's pretty good. And so getting back at the topic of today, positioning, the first thing you see me at the beginning of the battle is turn towards my battleships. There are 2 battleships on my left, cruisers on my right, and I absolutely have to play second line with that thing. Play it like a heavy cruiser with obviously amazing American battleship range. But really, it happened to me more than once that, you know, I'm looking at my planes, etc. in plane mode view, and when I come back, I have been hit by a Vermont or a Yamato, and I have lost half of my health. So yeah, it's incredibly vulnerable, because keep in mind, on top of having really poor armor, you are also a huge target. So really, it is very tricky to play for that reason. Make one mistake and it will cost you very dearly. So there you go, you see that I'm positioned behind a battleship, right behind it, because I simply do want to make sure that I am not the focus of the Vermont that is in front of me. So obviously the same rules of engagement as with the Delaware and the Nebraska still apply. I seen that Venezia was set on fire, damage guns. I seen that because I was watching the plane view, and I'm actually sending my dive bombers and trigger an extra fire on it. So the same rules of engagement apply, but really what is a little bit unforgiving with that ship at tier 10, it's simply the caliber of the guns you are facing. They can really punish you a lot harder than the tier 8 and the tier 9 can. Yeah, so in that case, it's a little bit dangerous for me, because in the meantime, the battleship that was behind has it's kind of left my cover, but the Vermont has another target to focus on. So yeah, you see that Conqueror in front, this is the one that the Vermont is actually focusing. So that's pretty good. We're still pretty safe. You see that we are nowhere near a cap at the beginning of the battle. You would really play this like a heavy cruiser in terms of positioning. And we're kind of waiting until we have an opportunity to get closer to the action. But for the moment, we're not taking it. The rest of the enemy battleships, because yeah, the matchmaking for us, it's good for damage, but it's not very good for survivability. 3 battleships on the enemy team, but they are on the other side of the map, so I am pretty safe. And that Vermont, it's not a problem anymore, so I can actually push, because I'm not that far from the enemy CV, and yeah, the Vermont, it's not there anymore to bother me. So now I can be aggressive, but again, I want to position myself in a way to not confront the enemy BBs directly, because they are going to push from C to my carrier. And I'm not going to rejoin the other battleship. Instead, I'm going after the carrier. So we really have to pick unfair fights with that thing. And so for me, in that case, the unfair fight, it is going to be not the Groningen, because this one, it's already busy. A cruiser is on my left, so you have to maintain map awareness all the time with that thing. But the Venezia and the enemy CV, those are my priority targets. Those 10 guns, which are, I would say, fairly accurate. They're not super accurate, but they are going to do an insane amount of damage to that kind of targets. And yeah, I'm not going to see it in that case, because again, as soon as I've shot, I enter plain view. I monitor what's happening, but you see that 9 hits, 1 citadel, 17,000 damage in 1 salvo. That Midway certainly felt that. So again, looking at the minimap, you have to keep an eye on the minimap all the time with the Louisiana. So we're still pretty safe. We do have a Vincent pushing B, but it's pushing alongside B. It's going for my CV. No. So yeah, again, we're in a pretty good position to deal with him. He's set on fire by my CV. He's using its damage con, so we're going to set him on fire with our dive bombers as well. So yeah, this is a good scenario for me, because yeah, obviously it's already been pretty weak and I am full HP. I've done a good job preserving my hit points. So again, a bit like a heavy cruiser, you preserve your hit points at the beginning of the battle and you use them towards the end. And that is how you position yourself with the Louisiana. You're always in a position to be as close as you can to the action, but never first line in the first half of the battle unless it's an unfair fight. And essentially making sure that your target, or whatever is actually the most dangerous thing to you on the map, is looking at somebody else. So that's a good example of that. Okay, time to rate that thing. For me, in terms of fun, 5 stars. It's super fun to play. It's a very active play style. You're always doing something, so it's what I like about that line, what I liked about the Delaware, except this time you really get the damage output to yeah, to begin with. Beginner friendly, absolutely not. Make 1 positioning mistakes and you get deleted. Make 1 mistake with your planes and you lose them, so this is not a beginner friendly line. Free to play friendly, even less than its predecessor, because you really need all the help you can get with this one, including premium repair kits and a good commander. But still, I mean, the accuracy is a little bit better out of the box. And still, the overall rating for me, this is the peak of the line, a 5-star ship. Incredibly interesting to play. Yeah, and pretty well balanced actually, so Wargaming has done a good job with that line. So there you go. Next one, we'll take a look at the world record gameplay for this one. And we'll finish the series with the Kearsarge review. So yeah, let's see you, I'll be seeing you soon actually. So stay safe, take care. That was DFA signing out. Bye bye.